Kelly Slater against Mick Fanning. 4 bells each to their credit. Martin Potter,
wow.
These guys have gone head-to-head 9 times. They're completely tied. Look at these stats right here. This is a heat.
18 times, 9 each. That's an incredible stat. 14 world titles. Kelly's won 55 events. Wow. I mean, this is what you would call a super heat, right? And as you said, if you're not entertained, well, you're just about to be.
You are about to be entertained. All the stars have aligned. The only thing that, to me,
the rankings at the moment, well, it's just let's see how the cookie crumbles. But it's going to be a good heat nonetheless.
And this is actually the earliest they've ever met head-to-head as we look at opening ride for Mick Fanning. We're going to get back to the opening ride of Kelly Slater because he already has a score on the board. But Fanning on his way and then catches a rail. Here we go. Kelly Slater, this is going to be his second wave, winding up off the bottom. Gouges a layback hack and Slater goes down.
This is like a bullfight, you know. I mean, these guys are both bulls and they both want to come out firing. They both want to dominate this heat. And there's going to be a couple of little mistakes here and there once they iron out the creases. Both these guys are going to be super excited. And this is the replay from Kelly's opening wave. Only came in at a 4.5, so just a settler. Get those nerves settled. You know these guys want to beat each other so badly. And Kelly goes to the air. And incomplete ride. This is Mick Fanning's wave. Both these guys making mistakes here at the beginning of their heat. Mick, just that trademark turn from him. Jams it lightning fast off the top. Goes for another turn right there. Just didn't quite get.
Here we go. Slater up, riding, taking that high line, building up some speed down the line, and kicks out. Priority air to Slater. Priority to Mick Fanning.
Kind of knew this was going to happen, though. You know, these guys.
The surf world is tuned in, and here we go with Mick Fanning. Let's see if he can do better on this wave. Pumping down the line, winds up and gaffs that. Ooh, a little bit of a catch-up, but he's back in action, goes vertical on the second turn, comes around this section, swoops that Fanning hack that we're all used to seeing. On the inside, another tail throw for Fanning, aggressively hitting the lip through the whitewater. Oh, a little bit incomplete on the finish. We're going to see where that score goes for Mick Fanning.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it go too high, Kaipo. The judges have got high expectations right now, so they're not going to just throw scores at average waves. Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see what happened on this opening maneuver. Mick Fanning putting everything into it and driving, just almost losing the fins there. Amazing ability to regather, get himself back on track. Now we start to see him open the shoulders and get that trademark surfing going. One of the fastest surfers on the planet, eyeing out that last section, goes up and over the top, but unfortunately takes his eye off the prize and goes down. So a couple of little mistakes here. You can see Mick laying that board over on the rail as hard as he possibly can and driving off the top. Beautiful positioning, and then almost loses it right there. Unbelievable balance and core strength just to get himself back on track. So Mick Fanning and Kelly Slater, both guys showing maybe some nerves a little bit, or
Mick Fanning just trailing behind him, making sure to keep him honest and make sure that he takes this wave, and Slater's going to pull the trigger. Let's see what Kelly's got working down the line. Winding up off the bottom, right through the lip for turn number 1. Easing through a nice turn for turn number 2, banking off the whitewater. Again, easing through a nice carve. Kelly Slater snapping for some variety, losing the fins a bit. Looking for more open face, gets up through the whitewater. This wave keeps on peeling down the line, and Slater continues to perform. Well-surfed wave for Kelly Slater.
Wow. Well, started slow, finished strong. Our wave was a little sleepy at the start, but have a look at Mick out the back.
Oh boy, Mick Fanning winding up off the bottom. White lightning, super fast, and pokes the nose, going all out on that first turn. Typically, we'd see him pull that thing down, so that was interesting, that slip up for Mick Fanning. He's going to get a second strike, I believe.
Let's have a look at Mick here. Pumps off the bottom, sort of settles himself. Now he leans into it. Let's have a look and see what happens as he drives through the lip, pokes the nose, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, this wave's got, you can see the face of the wave is not quite as clean as it was earlier in the day. There's a bit of lump and bump on that, and you know, as hard as these guys are pushing, a little bit of the rail hits that lip and it's all over. Kelly Slater first maneuver straight up through the lip, nice. Now he starts to get that rail in the water and find the rhythm in this wave. Another beautiful turn, waiting for it to stand up. Now it starts to offer a bit more vertical, and that's better from Kelly Slater. Getting that drift. This is where that board starts to work through that whitewater section, finding that nice free-flowing maneuvers. So we're looking at the best wave of the heat so far.
Mick Fanning on the paddle. Taking a look, up, riding, high line, down the line, carves off the bottom. Fanning swoops off the top, around the section again, and snaps for turn number 2. Right through the lip, finishing off, complete, fist pump. He's feeling it too.
Wow, okay, well.
Look at this for Mick Fanning.
All right, well, we've seen Mick surf today already, and he was looking sharp. This turn right here just didn't quite get that rotation that we know he's got. That was better from Mick. And then finished off here, just you can see how he just tapped off halfway through that maneuver just to make sure that he finished it. First turn, opens the shoulders, got that wingspan going. Just nice clean surfing there, just didn't want to push too hard, needed to finish this wave off. Why? Because Kelly Slater took the lead with his last roll of the dice. That was better from Mick, nice jam in the pocket. And then on that last maneuver, you can see he tapped off just to make sure he finished it. More sets approaching. Kelly Slater, here he goes.
Last wave for Slater is 6.83. Let's see what he's got here. Looking down the line, looking disinterested, kicks out and wants to hold his position out in the lineup. First wave of the set, second wave of the set. It's always the decision. And here we go with Kelly Slater taking the first wave. Off the bottom. Snaps off the top. Working his way down the line. Layback hack for turn number 2. Showing better intent here. Slater throws the tail. Finds more open face vertically through the lip and needed to stomp out of that thing.
And produced a mistake again, so let's have a look. First turn, nice and clean. Beautiful snap there, which is starting to look better. He's starting to feel a little looser. Now he draws off the bottom. That's better again from Kelly. So he's on his way to a good score right here. Right there, just kind of was a little bit off balance. It was kind of put him a little bit behind, and then felt that he had to push on that last turn and poke the nose. So I don't know, man. It's again, he's going to get the score, but Mick's just going to look for a smaller requirement. Look at that turn right there from Kelly. Trademark stuff, just laying into that turn. More of a layback gouge there. You know, not really carrying through that maneuver though. So I think he could have maybe maximized the scoring potential by doing that. That was a beautiful turn from Kelly, but threw him off balance. Kind of put him behind the section just a little bit and then forced him to go for that last turn a little late. And unfortunately nosedived. So scores coming through for that.
For a long wall in front of him.
Oh,
Takes
no,
a look at it. Says no. Slater going to take it. Kelly says, you know what? I don't have priority. I'm going to go. And I'm going to try to make something out of this. Here we go. Slater busts the air. And it goes incomplete.
If he stayed on, he could win this heat. But Mick Fanning has got one of the better waves of the heat with a beautiful line on it, and he's up and riding now.
Mick Fanning with the line here at Winky Pop. Explodes through the lip for turn number 1. Gets a little caught off the bottom, but recovers well. Swoops. A nice carve. Fanning finishes off, steps off. And Fanning looking to improve upon his low of a 5.5.
Barton hit the nail on the head. These guys are so focused on what each other are doing, trying to make each other pay for their mistakes. Mick Fanning catches a rail right there, and almost, I mean, if it wasn't for the sheer ability of Mick Fanning, he would have come unglued, but managed to pull that one off. So looking to improve on a 5.50. Big snap off the top. And as he comes down, you can see him looking down the line and catches that rail there. Almost goes over the handlebars, but just as Mick Fanning is such an amazing surfer, pulled that one off. So turned it into a floater maneuver. And there's the score. So he did improve his situation, Kaipo.
Yeah, turned it into a 6.5, so a full point over what his low score was, and heightens the requirement now for Kelly Slater. Coach Potts says you got to go. Fanning's going to force the hand for Slater, making intent. Slater utilizes his priority, winds up off the bottom, whitewater climb there, clean. Clears the way out, rails of water, snaps it again, short radius turn, bringing it right back in. Nice carve for Slater, and keeps busy with some great rail work that we're used to seeing from the 11-time world champ, and slips off on the inside. The jinxes continue in this heat.
Sort of getting too carried away, too far ahead, slipping off the tail. I love this turn. I mean, that's difficult to do on a wave like this. Deep low bottom turn straight through the lip again. I mean, the surfing he's doing is amazing, but you can see he's just on the verge every single time of catching a rail. And watch this turn right here, just the stock standard cut back on Kelly Slater's standards, and that back foot comes sliding off. So pushing maybe a little bit too hard on the tail, but I don't know what's going on. 100% he's going to go. There's no way he's not going to take this wave.
Here we go, Fanning, looking to improve upon that 6.5 that he's already locked in. Working it down the line, floating a couple sections. The wave closes out. What's behind Mick Fanning? Because it doesn't appear that he's going to increase his lead. Kelly Slater with just 9 seconds counting down.
Yep.
And
too late.
He's going to hear the hooter before he's going to be able to stand up. And
yeah.
There it is.
Well,
End of the heat.
That's it.
What could have Slater done if he had a few more seconds on the clock? We're just going to enjoy this ride from Kelly, and he brings it all the way in. Eliminated from competition in what was just going to be a clash of world champs. Mick Fanning moves on.
You know what, if you go back to that very first wave Kelly caught, he was kind of on his way to a good score, and then he went for the air and fell. Had he just bashed that lip, he could have dropped a 6 or a 7.
Looking back.
And it would have been maybe a whole different outcome, a whole different rhythm, a whole different confidence, you know, and playing a game at such a high level, one of those little tiny mistakes can go a long way.
Well, there you go. Mick Fanning is going to move on here at the Rip Curl Pro. He's going to move into round number 4, that non-elimination round. Kelly Slater, unfortunately, eliminated from competition.